What is going on, gang? What is going on? What is going on? This is your boy Marcus Washington, and you're on the mark with your boy. We talk everything Falcons football, man. Preseason game 2 is in the books. Final score 13 against the Bengals. And listen, man, I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna keep it real. That fourth quarter, I kind of clocked out. I saw everything that I needed to see in the first half. So let me talk about my concerns first, which are very, very minimal. Desmond Ridder had 2 passes that he threw behind the receivers. One, he had Kyle Pitts wide open. He threw it behind him. Kyle had to kind of like turn his body to catch the ball. And then another one was a screen to Behan Robinson. And those are things he's got to tighten up on. Other than that, he looked pretty good. That first team offense, man. Lord have mercy. You add to the fact that Jonnu Smith and Cordell Patterson. Cordell Patterson wasn't even suited for this game. And I'm just seeing just all the options in the world that this team has offensively. Defensively, they really didn't. I mean, they got pressure. I think they got to the quarterback like once or twice or whatever the case may be. But there was a lot of undisciplined stuff happening on the field. Lindstrom had two penalties in the first quarter. I mean, there were just penalties everywhere. It started on offense, then it went on defense. Then I'm like, these are things that they'll have cleaned up in the by the regular season. I'm not worried about that. Hopefully Hodge is okay. But I mean, at the wide receiver position, we ain't struggling at all. Mac looked absolutely phenomenal with those first reps. And I'm just sitting here thinking to myself, I'm like, how are you stopping this? The play where Kyle Pitts caught the ball, fam, he was wide open. And I'm like, last year, teams were able to really hone in on Kyle Pitts. We got so many weapons right now. When the play action was initiated, everybody went Robinson's way. And I'm like, bro. And your boy Robinson, look, man, I don't know about y'all, but if he's available in fantasy football, when it's my go, I'm picking this boy up. We saw flashes of what this kid could be. And I'm like, bruh. They gave Algier the ball first. And I'm like, oh, okay, Algier, I see you. And then they gave Robinson the ball. I'm like, yeah, Algier, you were meant to be the number 2. I love you, buddy. But this kid looks like he might be absolutely phenomenal out the box this year. But man, I'm ready for the regular season, fam. I'm just gonna be honest. And mind you, what we saw with the first team offense, this is a vanilla playbook. They weren't throwing out nothing sexy. And look at how many guys we had open. There was a play in the red zone where our QB had 2 guys open. Again, he's got to clean this up. But Ridder had 2 guys open, decided to run the ball. I'm like, bro, you had a tutty, but whatever. The interception, that's a pass interference. I don't give a damn what nobody says. You could barely see that ball was tipped. Not only, it was like a fingertip. It didn't change the trajectory. The defender still got there way ahead of time. But neither here nor there. To me, it didn't even matter. The Falcons, we blew almost 10 minutes off the clock. We got caught in third down positions. We got caught behind the sticks because of the penalties, and we were still in the red zone. So I'm like, bro, you clean up some of this stuff. We to the house with this. But the fact that it looked this good, no Jonnu, no CP. I'm like, bro, you put them in this is a wrap. This is a wrap. Now the defense is getting a lot more pressure than I like. Well, they're getting a lot more pressure than we're used to. Let me put it this way, because I love pressure. This defense did not look like this at all at any time last season at all. And we're seeing pressure. Oh man, listen, our DC, man, hey man, this is sexy DC we got, bro. We got five, six guys at the line, and I don't know what the hell's about to happen. I'm like, bruh. So let me get to some of these comments, fam. What's going on, everybody? Charles, what's going on? He says, glad you're back. Pretty excited about this team this year. Yeah, man, everybody should be excited about this team, because I don't even want to say we're a sleeper team. When you spend $100+ million on defense and then you go get a stud for running back in the draft, man, please. We're winning more than 10 games this year, fam. We're winning more. What's going on, AJ? AJ says Panthers in trouble week 1. Yeah, fam. Yeah, fam. They in trouble. And they got a rookie QB. I watched some of their preseason game. I'm like, well, yeah, we probably got these boys we probably got them by 2 touchdowns. Let's see what's going on, Torian. Let's see here. Gavin says, what's going on, Gavin? He says, I like Hellams. Man, listen, Hellams has been hella impressive this preseason. He's got 2 picks already in the preseason. The boy Smith, he played stellar in the second half. And our 3rd string quarterback, Woodside, listen, man, this man was on a Greyhound bus back to wherever the hell he came from, had it not been for that 4th quarter drive. That man threw a dime. I'm like, man, you know what? That saved you for another week. That saved you for another week, bro, because I'm telling you, that sack that you took after watching Ritter and after watching Heineke's speed and then seeing you take that sack, I'm like, bro, we can't have that. We can't have that. But that man delivered 2 strikes. That last throw was an absolute and it should have been a touchdown. The one he threw in the end zone for a touchdown, I'm putting that on the receiver. That thing was dropped in the breadbasket. That was supposed to get caught. But nonetheless, we missed that. And then Koo came in. I think that kick was much needed from Koo, especially after he had 2 missed field goals in the first preseason game. You know, and we walk away. We're technically still 1-0 in the preseason. So technically we can't have a losing record in the preseason. That's pretty much cemented. Jeffrey says, just think we still got 2 injuries in the secondary too. Okuda and Phillips will be held once they get back healthy, along with AJ and Bates. Yeah. Another thing, Hennessy's out for the season. I think our boy did pretty good in the preseason game. But I think that O-line is going to be all right, man. Defenses are going to have too many issues trying to figure out who the hell they need to cover. I mean, man, Jesus. Robinson can catch out of the backfield. Algier can catch out of the backfield. And then you got, man, look, Mac. I'm sitting here thinking Cordell Patterson is going to be the game changer in a lot of these games because he's a Swiss Army knife. Now, looking at Mac and how open he was and how open he could get, I'm like, bruh, these teams in trouble, bruh. These teams in trouble. I'm telling you that. What's going on, Francis? She says, what's up, Mark? Woodside made 2 huge passes at the end, but not impressed with him as the 3rd quarterback. I agree. I think those 2 passes got him another week. Before those 2 passes, he was on a bus back to where the hell he came from. Because we don't really need to carry 3 quarterbacks. And Heineke looked good. Ritter looked good. It's just those 2 passes, and they were complete passes. So these are that's a minimum gripe I have with Ritter. Both of them were completions, but they were behind the receivers. He's got to put that thing in motion to where these guys can catch it and keep trucking. So just small gripe. Terrence, what's going on? He said, what's up? Too many penalties. Yeah, man, I'm pretty sure Arthur Smith is going to be chewing them a new one. It's getting to a point now that when they camera pan to Arthur Smith, you don't even need subtitles. You know exactly what the hell he's saying, and it's usually cursing. It's big cursing. You know, they panned over to him one time. I'm like, man, I can literally read his lips. Your boy was getting off. Arthur Smith ain't never happy on the sideline, bro. And I love it. I don't like for head coaches to be like complacent on the sideline. I like an iron fist approach because we're out here trying to win games, man. You know what I'm saying? Let's see. AJ said, Behan got hands too. You saw how he caught that pass. Yeah. Well, you know, I think he had like last year he had 800 yards in receiving yards. So your boy can get busy. Out there. Jeffrey says Arthur got to cut that damn porn stat. Hey man, everybody on the coaching staff got one of those. I saw our DC with one. I'm like, hey man, listen, I don't care what they got on their face if we winning games. I could care less. Arthur Smith can come out looking like Grizzly Adams. As long as we putting up dubs on Sundays, hey man, I'm all for it. Country, what's going on? He says Calais looks good in the Falcons uniform and he's going to be a monster. Yeah, lined up next to Grady, man. You can tell these guys are ready to go get it in a preseason game. So again, I don't think any of these guys are going to play next week. With Hodge getting injured, I think they said it was something high ankle or something like that. And honestly, you don't really need the work next week. Get some of these guys in. I mean, honestly, they're probably going to give Woodside one more chance to make the roster based off of those two throws. I just don't like the fact that we saw Ritter running for yardage. We saw Heineke running for yardage, and it looked good. You can tell those guys had wheels. Woodside looked like he was like in quicksand. and it was a hell of a drop off from Heineke to Woodside. And Heineke's our second string guy. So, hey man, listen, I wish these guys the best when they get an opportunity, but bruh, I honestly just don't think we need him as he hasn't shown anything. Now they might give him an opportunity to do this next week. Fine, but again, whether he gets cut or not, it really doesn't matter to me. Terrence says, I hope Helms, the safety from Alabama, makes the team. There are a lot of these guys that have, in my eyes, already made the squad. But this year is going to be a hard cut, man. Because you got, I've seen a lot of talent on that field that got to get cut. You know, that some of these guys are absolute guarantees. Some of these guys are going to end up getting cut, and you be like, man, in previous years, you might have made the team, buddy. You might have made the team. But now we cutting a lot of fat off. So if you got cut, that means the best of the best is on the team. Country says, do you think the NFC South is ours this year? Because Vegas says that the Saints win in the South. Saints got, man, listen, y'all know I can't stand the Saints. Y'all know I can't stand them. I hate the Saints. I don't have anything black and gold in my house on the same thing, period. I hate those colors combined. On a plate, on rims, I don't care what. I hate both of those colors combined. That's how much I hate the Saints. I think they have the ugliest uniforms in the NFL by far. All of them. Their throwback jerseys, their alternates, their home, away, all of them trash. However, they got a pretty good squad offensively. Olave's coming off of a monster year last year. Slant Boy looked, pretty good in the preseason. They got Alvin Kamara, even though Alvin Kamara took a step back last year. But I don't have any faith in Derek Carr, bro. One of the reasons why I think the Saints ain't taking the South, bro, look at who Derek Carr had last year. Just look at who Derek Carr had last year, bro. They ain't do nothing with that team. And as much as I like Chris Olave as a wide receiver, he's not Devontae Adams. Nobody over there is. He had a stud tight end. He had a stud wide receiver. He had a stud running back. What'd they do? So, listen. The Saints, I'm not intimidated by the Saints at all, period. We're winning more than 10 games this year, so by default, we should be able to take the NFC South. By default. I forgot Alvin Kamara is suspended. Man, we all I needed to see was that first half. That's it. That's all I needed to see. Second half, you could have washed dishes, honestly. You could have paid your bills in the second half. You're really watching, third and fourth string guys, potentially trying to make the team. First quarter showed me all I needed to see on that offense as well as that defense. We just have to cut these penalties. We cut these penalties, man. In time of possession, I looked at that time of possession. I'm like, damn, bruh. If you can do this for 2 quarters, you're going to beat any team. Period. But anyhow, man, that's it. I was very, I'm more excited for the team this week than I was last week. Because I'm like, okay, we got to see a vanilla playbook. And the fact that Kyle Pitts was wide open. Kyle Pitts was wide open, bruh. I don't think people understand how crazy that is. Especially the last 2 years where all defenses used to do is just, we're not going to let Kyle Pitts get off. We can stop this team if we stop Kyle Pitts. Now we got so many weapons. Your boy just running down the middle of the field wide open. Kyle Pitts with no CP. I don't know where the hell Jonnu Smith is, honestly. But with no CP. Wide open. Why? Because that young horse we got in the backfield drawing all the attention. It's going to be in the fact that you can run Robinson for one play, bring in Algier, run Algier for one play, bring in CP, run CP for one play, or you can bring Robinson and CP at the same time, or Robinson and Algier in at the same time, or just leave Robinson on the bench, put Algier as the back, have your boy CP come. Man, there's so many options. There's so many options, bro. That's just the backfield. When we start getting into the 2 tight end work, bro, it's too much. It's too much. And I'm happy about that. Because for 2 years, we ain't had enough. Now we got too much. We went from having barely nothing. It's like when you grocery shop, right? Sometimes you do that sporadic grocery shop, like you get off of work or something like that. You stop by the grocery store and you grab a couple of items. That's been us for the last couple of years. We've had a couple of items. This is a Sunday grocery shop we got now, where you make a list of what you need. You look in the refrigerator, you look in the cupboard, make sure you make a laundry list of what you got. Then you go to the grocery store. Then you come back and you got all the goods. That's what we are now. A full refrigerator of players. So now we can mix and match. We can make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. We can make a sub. We can cook some oatmeal. We can make some cereal. We can cook a steak. We can fry chicken. For the last 2 years, we've been on a steady diet of spam, bruh. On defense, we just been eating canned tuna. we just been eating canned tuna, bruh. Now we eating filet mignon. We getting fancy with this stuff now. So the fan base is about to be full of W's. Because we got all the ingredients to make a deep playoff run. I'm calling it now. I said last year, we're winning more than 10 games. Even with a half full fridge, last year, we should have won more than 10 games. We let 3 of them slip. We should have won 10 games easy last year. We got a full fridge. What you expect us to do this year? It's 10 or better. And these guys looked hungry today. That was the impressive thing about this. They didn't come out there like, man, it's just a preseason game, man. You know, let's run out here on the drive, man. You know, let's go ahead and get it over with. Nah, those guys were out there flying around trying to make plays. But I'm telling you, on my fantasy, hopefully I get one of these top 3 picks, because Robinson coming off the board quick, and Mac, that's gonna be a sleeper in your fantasy, fam. That's gonna be a sleeper right there in your fantasy. Drake London had a great catch. At first, I thought he was out of bounds, and then I saw it again. I'm like, damn, okay. I was more concerned with Drake holding on to the ball. But man, boy, the regular season can't come fast enough now. It can't come fast enough now, man. But anyway, man, that's the show for tonight. We will reconvene next week. That's the last week of the preseason. Chances are they're not going to put any starters out there, man. If I'm Arthur Smith, why? Why would I put any out there? But Terrence says, how do you feel about the rookie left guard? He did pretty decent, man. He'll get better as the year goes on. But you know, he did pretty good. But yeah, if I'm Arthur Smith, man, I'm not putting nobody out there. You know, all my starters street clothes or in Falcons street clothes. And you just let these other guys fight it out to try to get a position on the team. Helms, to me, has already got a spot on the team. That's almost a guarantee. That's almost a guarantee in my eyes. And hopefully, you know, we get some standouts in week 3. But where we are now, man, I'm hella confident we're gonna make a deep run into the playoffs. But with that being said and done, fam, I am gone. Y'all have a fantastic weekend, and I will holler at you guys next week. Peace.